Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we need to put together an arrangement, and this is one of our customers who orders flowers fairly often. And so I wanted to do something a little different today that we haven't done in quite a while. We haven't done a lower, more compact styled arrangement. Everything we've done recently has been tall and upright, so I thought we would use one of our Rosy Posy containers. So I'm going to start out with some white hydrangeas. And what I'm going to do is remove the foliage first. Couldn't find my trash can. I'm removing the foliage. I'm going to take my floral knife, cut that stem at an angle, and I am going to dip that right in my quick dip. I'm going to count to about 7. And then I am going to tuck that hydrangea right into my water. So this container has been filled with fresh water, and I added a little floral food to the water. Now, if you do not have floral food at home, it's completely okay. If you have a little bit of Sprite, like a clear soda, and it doesn't need to be diet. They want the sugar. The flowers want the sugar. So if you have any Sprite, you can add a little bit of that to the water and just a tiny drop of bleach. Now what that's going to do, the Sprite's gonna feed the flowers and the bleach is gonna kill the bacteria. So it's not necessary that you have the powdered flower food. You can certainly make your own flower food at home. Okay, and if you don't have the quick dip, but you like the idea of using quick dip, if you have alum, which is more of a pickling alum, you can pick it up at the grocery store, and it's going to do exactly what Quick Dip does. Quick Dip is a hydrating solution that helps to keep the heads of the hydrangeas firm, and alum does the same thing. It just helps to keep that head hydrated. So it's a good source to keep it well hydrated. You don't have to worry about your flowers. Okay, so I have added my hydrangeas. Next I'm going to come in. I have some beautiful plum colored hydrangeas, not hydrangeas, gladiolus. And I thought we would use a stem or 2 of these beautiful gladiolus. I am going to pop some of their bottom blooms off just because I don't need them quite that tall. I'm going to take that stem, cut that at an angle, and I'm going to tuck him right into my hydrangea. Let's see if I can find one with a little more color. Now when using blooms like glads, you don't want to only use 2. I don't know if you can tell, but they're just 2 lines sticking up here. Now the reason you don't want to use only 2 is because it looks like antenna. Okay, so always add your 3rd bloom to your vase. And that is going to help keep it looking a little more pleasing to the eye. Okay, so there are our, and they're not standing up right now, but they will because I'm going to add more flowers. Okay, so there are our glads. Next we're going to come in with some bells of Ireland. So I'm taking the top foliage out of the tip of that bell. I'm cutting that stem at an angle, and I'm just tucking that tiny little bell right into the vase. Now I like to remove the little leaves out of the top. If you like them, you can leave them. I just think that it makes for a prettier presentation. All right, so I added 3 bells of Ireland, 3 plum colored gladiolus, and 3 white hydrangeas. Next, I'm going to come in with a little bit of this wax flower. It's going to help me keep all my flowers in place. So I'm just taking my wax, I'm popping that stem just with my fingernail. And I'm tucking that right into that hydrangea. I'm not really going to need a whole lot. The wonderful part about wax is you get a lot on one stem, and you do not have to use the whole stem in an arrangement, so that works out nice too. Okay, so there's a little bit of wax flower. I also have some pretty liatris, so purple liatris. Tuck a few of those. I love this pop of royal purple in with that plum. Different shades of purple. Next, I'm going to come in with a little solidago. So I have some pretty yellow solidago. Yellow and purple are so pretty together. One more stem. All right. Next we're going to come in with, we have some pretty roses. So, I'm not exactly sure the variety of this rose, but it reminds me a little bit, it's very, very soft. Okay, it's a very soft white color. But it has a little hint of a lavender color. But it also comes off as a mauve color. So it's just kind of a pretty variety. Again, I'm not exactly sure the name of this type of rose, but it is pretty. I'm removing any of the petals that don't look nice. I'm just pulling those right off. I'm taking a florist wire. I'm poking it right into the calyx underneath, and I'm just twisting that right around that stem. That's just helping to keep these roses, their little heads, upright. Oh, that one's popped off. Okay, so we're going to use 3 roses. I'm just going to take my florist knife, put that stem at an angle, and I'm going to nestle that rose right down into that vase. One's a little too long, so I'm going to trim it again. Nestle him right down in that arrangement. And then I'm going to use the 3rd flower right back here on the back side, so it's pretty all the way around. Okay, next we have these gorgeous white peonies. Just large, lush, beautiful white peonies. Oh, they're so pretty. So I'm going to cut that and nestle it right down in to this arrangement. Look how pretty and lush that flower is. Such a lovely bloom. Peonies are flowers that we don't have too terribly often. They tend to be a little pricey, and they're very seasonal. So this is perhaps the last we'll have for the year until their season comes back around next year. So I nestled some of those beautiful white peonies in. Next we're going to come in with a little bit of these fuchsia purple color mini carnations. So I'm going to actually take my floral knife and I'm going to cut them into individual stems, or into smaller insertions. So you can actually take one stem and cut their blooms apart and nestle them right into that arrangement. And you feel like you got more for your money because you were able to cut them into smaller stems. All right, so we have what we're going to do next is we are going to add our greenery to this container. Okay, so the foliage that I chose include this explosion grass, which is so fun. Look at that. It just kind of, I don't know, it almost looks like a firework if you look at it closely. It is in the millet family, and it's just kind of a fun added foliage to tuck down into this arrangement. It almost makes it a little more of a wildflower look. So fun to use. Okay. Next we're going to come in with just a touch of this millet because it gives us that pretty green color. Now the one thing about it is it's a little heavy. His head's really heavy. So I'm going to take him and nestle him right down into that arrangement. So I have our millet tucked in. And then lastly, to finish our arrangement, we're going to add just a touch of seeded eucalyptus. And like I did with the mini carnations, I'm going to take and pop it into 2 smaller pieces. And that way we can put the eucalyptus throughout this arrangement. And I'm kind of lifting that hydrangea and tucking that eucalyptus just around the edge of that vase. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the fuchsia colored wax, and we are going to call this arrangement pretty. And so if you look all the way around, we have pretty blooms all the way around in this arrangement. Our blooms include white hydrangeas, this plum colored gladiolus. We have bells of Ireland. We have purple liatris, which is this bottle brush looking flower here. We have roses. We have, and that might be an amnesia rose, guys. An amnesia is the variety. We have waxflower and solidago. Solidago is the yellow. The waxflower is kind of this fuchsia filler flower. We have purple mini carnations. We have white peonies. And then we have greenery to include explosion grass, seeded eucalyptus, and pretty millet. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. If you have any questions about how we put this arrangement together, don't hesitate to ask that down below. Or any questions about the flower shop overall, we're happy to answer. I hope you have a wonderful day. Do me a great big favor. Hit that subscribe button down below, and you will be able to see all of our videos. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.